The ATP Finals in Turin have taken a dramatic turn even before the first ball is hit. Novak Djokovic's last-minute withdrawal from the tournament has completely reshaped the balance of power, and unexpectedly handed Carlos Alcaraz a golden opportunity. Djokovic, fresh from winning the ATP 250 event in Athens against Lorenzo Musetti, officially confirmed that a shoulder injury will prevent him from playing in Turin. It was a surprise announcement that disrupted every pre-existing plan for the tournament's draw and, above all, affected the fight for the year-end world number one. The Serbian, who at 38 continues to defy time, stated that although he felt competitive, he didn't want to risk a deeper injury so close to the 2026 season. His withdrawal means Musetti, the man he defeated in Athens, will now take the vacant spot in the finals. But the real beneficiary is Carlos Alcaraz. Djokovic's absence transforms the Jimmy Connors group into a much lighter field. Instead of facing one of the greatest indoor players in history, the Spaniard now faces Taylor Fritz, Alex de Minaur, and the late entry Lorenzo Musetti. On paper, it's an advantage that could prove decisive. In contrast, Jannik Sinner has been drawn into the tougher Bjorn Borg group with Alexander Zverev, Ben Shelton, and Felix Auger-Aliassime, a collection of power hitters perfectly suited for Turin's fast surface. The math is simple. With Novak out, Alcaraz's path to the semi-finals, and the number one ranking, becomes significantly smoother. To reclaim the year-end crown, he needs at least 3 wins in the round-robin stage or 2 plus a semi-final appearance. For Sinner, the challenge is steeper. He must defend his 2024 title without losing a single match to secure the top spot. When the news broke, social media exploded with speculation. Some fans celebrated that the finals might finally see a new champion in Alcaraz. Others lamented the absence of Djokovic, arguing that the event loses part of its prestige without its 7-time champion. The ATP confirmed that Djokovic will still receive partial ranking protection, but his withdrawal is official and irreversible. Alcaraz, for his part, responded with both respect and ambition. "It's never good to see Novak out, he's a legend. But for me, it's a chance to focus on my tennis and take advantage of every match," he told reporters upon landing in Turin. He debuted against Alex de Minaur and delivered exactly the kind of statement win fans expected. Dressed in a bright pink hoodie and sporting his new platinum blonde look, Alcaraz radiated confidence. After taking a tight first-set tiebreak and then dominating the second set, he sealed his first-ever victory at the ATP Finals, something he had failed to achieve in his previous appearances. "Winning the first match gives you confidence and sends a message," he said after the win. For Alcaraz, it wasn't just about the scoreboard, it was about rhythm and control. "The surface is faster than Paris," he explained. "You have less time to prepare, so you must be aggressive and precise. I'm happy because today, my backhand worked perfectly." Next up are Taylor Fritz and Lorenzo Musetti, 2 matches that could define his entire season. And with Djokovic out of the picture, the odds have tilted heavily in the Spaniard's favor. If he triumphs in Turin, Alcaraz would not only become the youngest ATP Finals champion since Leighton Hewitt, but also reclaim the world number one for the second time in his short career. For a player who has already won Roland Garros and the US Open in 2025, the Masters Cup is the only missing jewel, and now, the door is wide open. Carlos Alcaraz's victory over Alex de Minaur was more than just a strong start, it was a statement of intent. After struggling in Paris and showing fatigue late in the season, the Spaniard looked sharper, faster, and far more composed. "I've rested better between tournaments," he admitted in the post-match press conference. "I've spent more time at home, more time with my people. That helps me arrive fresh mentally." The match against de Minaur began with nerves. The Australian's lightning footwork forced Alcaraz into long exchanges and defensive shots in the first few games. But as soon as the tiebreak began, the world number 2 switched gears, flattening his backhand, mixing drop shots, and sealing the set 7-6 after a fierce battle. From there, his energy was unstoppable. The second set was a masterclass in tempo control. De Minaur could only watch as Alcaraz dominated from the baseline, finishing with a 6-3 win that electrified the crowd inside the Paula Alpatour Arena. "I felt really good on court," Alcaraz said afterward. "I could feel the ball again, something that didn't happen in Paris. It's all about rhythm and adaptation. These courts are faster, but once you find your timing, it's beautiful tennis." That win not only boosted his morale, it reshaped the group dynamic. With Novak Djokovic officially out and Lorenzo Musetti stepping in, the Connors group suddenly feels like Alcaraz's to dominate. The Italian, despite his artistry, doesn't have the same indoor experience or power to trouble the top seeds. Taylor Fritz, on the other hand, remains dangerous, but Alcaraz has beaten him in their last 4 encounters. The path to the semi-finals, and possibly the final, is now clearer than ever. Still, Alcaraz refuses to take anything for granted. At this level, every match is a final, he reminded the press. Even if Novak isn't here, there's no such thing as an easy opponent. But behind that humility lies quiet confidence. His inner circle, coach Juan Carlos Ferrero and assistant Samuel Lopez, believe this is the tournament where Alcaraz can prove his all-surface dominance once and for all. Interestingly, Ferrero's comments earlier in the week created a storm of reactions across the ATP. To reach the top, you have to be a slave to tennis, Ferrero said during an interview, emphasizing discipline and sacrifice. His words didn't sit well with everyone, especially Jannik Sinner, who gave a subtle yet pointed response. For me, tennis should come from passion, not obligation, the Italian said in Turin. If you stop enjoying it, you lose something essential. It was a quiet jab at the Spanish coach, and it reignited an ongoing philosophical contrast between the two camps. On one side, Ferrero's old-school mentality, a military-style discipline forged from his own career as world number 1. On the other, Sinner's modern, balanced approach, prioritizing mental health and joy over obsession. The tension between these ideologies now adds another emotional layer to the rivalry between Sinner and Alcaraz, who may soon meet in the knockout stages. Meanwhile, Djokovic's withdrawal didn't stop him from making headlines. During his final press conference in Athens, he appeared visibly irritated when a journalist suggested that Sinner and Alcaraz had taken tennis to another level. Djokovic interrupted with a cold smile. "Respect my generation," he replied sharply. "We built this level. They're standing on our shoulders." The comment echoed through the tennis world, a subtle reminder that even as the torch passes, the Serbian still sees himself as part of the ongoing legacy. Back in Turin, Alcaraz seemed unfazed by the external noise. "Everyone has their way of seeing tennis," he said when asked about Sinner's remarks. "For me, it's simple. I love this sport. I play because it makes me happy." That sincerity, paired with his relentless drive, makes him the emotional opposite of the stoic Sinner. As he prepares for his next matches against Taylor Fritz and Lorenzo Musetti, one thing is clear. With Djokovic gone and Sinner facing the tougher path, Alcaraz has the upper hand, not only in ranking points, but also in momentum, confidence, and spirit. Carlos Alcaraz's journey through the ATP Finals is not just about chasing trophies. It's about reclaiming momentum, rewriting narratives, and proving that the indoor courts of Turin can finally become his territory. With Novak Djokovic's withdrawal creating a vacuum in the draw, the tournament now feels like the perfect stage for Alcaraz to end 2025 as the undisputed world number 1. The math is simple. 3 victories in the group stage or 2 plus a semi-final appearance would seal the deal. But beyond the numbers lies something more intangible, a sense that destiny is once again tilting toward the young Spaniard. For the first time since Wimbledon, Alcaraz looks completely at ease. His forehand is fluid, his movement effortless, and his energy contagious. "You can feel it," said a member of the ATP media team after his opening match. "He's walking like someone who knows the title is his to lose." Even Jannik Sinner, his biggest rival and defending champion, admitted that the absence of Djokovic changes everything. "Of course, when Novak is there, everyone feels his presence," the Italian said. "Without him, the tournament is more open. But Carlos is clearly the favorite." It's a striking admission coming from Sinner, especially given their tight race for the year-end number 1. For Alcaraz, though, Turin is more than a competition. It's a test of maturity. His 2025 season has been spectacular but not without turbulence. He conquered Roland Garros, lifted his second US Open, and reached the Wimbledon final. Yet his performance in indoor tournaments like Basel and Paris left doubts. Critics claimed that his aggressive baseline game wasn't suited to fast, low-bouncing surfaces. Now, with every win in Turin, he's dismantling that narrative piece by piece. In the locker rooms, players and coaches are already talking about a new hierarchy forming in men's tennis, one defined by contrasts rather than similarities. Alcaraz, expressive, instinctive, and emotional. Sinner, quiet, methodical, and surgical. Together they've pushed the game into a new era, the age of precision and power. And even Djokovic, despite his pride, seems aware that the transition has already begun. Still, Alcaraz's team remains cautious. Carlos can't think about rankings or points, warned Juan Carlos Ferrero during a pre-training session. He needs to stay focused on his routines. The moment you think you're safe, tennis punishes you. Ferrero's words echo the lessons he once learned from his own career: the importance of discipline over emotion, of process over perfection. Meanwhile, Sinner continues to defend his own philosophy. During a press conference before his second match, the Italian was asked directly about Ferrero's comment that, to reach the elite, you have to be a slave to tennis. Sinner smiled faintly before replying, "For me, tennis isn't slavery. It's love. It's something I want to do every day, not something I'm forced to do." His statement drew applause from Italian reporters, who see in Sinner the image of a new generation, one that values balance as much as ambition. The contrast between these two visions, Ferrero's iron discipline and Sinner's emotional freedom, has become symbolic of the sport's generational shift. And it's in Turin, under the glowing lights of the Pala Alpitour Arena, where those philosophies are colliding. As the tournament advances, Alcaraz's focus is laser-sharp. "This is where you separate the good from the great," he said after a late-night training session. "When the season is almost over, when your body hurts and your mind is tired, that's when champions are made." He's not just talking about tennis. For Alcaraz, these finals are a declaration of identity, a reminder that joy and discipline can coexist, that youth doesn't mean inexperience, and that his story is still being written one match at a time. If he wins the title, he will not only join legends like Manolo Orantes and Alex Corretja as Spanish ATP Finals champions, but also secure the year-end #1 ranking for the second time in his career, something no Spaniard has done since Rafael Nadal. And yet, even if he falls short, Alcaraz's message remains the same: why choose one when you can fight for both? The Masters Cup and the Davis Cup. The title and the legacy. The present and the future. Turin is his testing ground, and the world is watching to see if Carlos Alcaraz can finish 2025 as not just a champion, but as the player who finally closed the gap between talent and destiny.